Now, young people, listen to me carefully. Every generation has a program. Not a school program, not a church program, a spiritual program. An invisible script that tells them, this is normal. This is acceptable. This is who you are. This is how you should think. And most people never question it. They simply accept it. Sons of God, we have to understand that every generation submits to something. But this generation, this one is different. The level of programming is aggressive. It's constant. It's in your pocket, in your headphones, in your feed, in your humor, in your relationships. It doesn't just influence you occasionally. It disciples you daily. And if you don't consciously resist it, you will slowly become what it wants you to be. Numb, reactive, overstimulated, easily offended, addicted to validation, desensitized to sin. And you won't even realize it happened. You will just wake up one day and think like everyone else. But here's what history proves. In every generation that fell, there was always a remnant that refused to bow. In every corrupt culture, there were young people who said, I will not be programmed. Youths, you were not put into this timeline on accident. You are not alive in this hour randomly. You are alive in one of the most spiritually aggressive generations in history because you were meant to be part of the remnant. But you don't become a remnant by merely attending church. You become a remnant by guarding your gates. Let me tell you something. Man is not just the flesh. You are a vessel, a doorway, and a gate on the earth. Spirits cannot legally express themselves in the physical realm without a human agreeing with them. Sons of God, spirits crave manifestation. They crave expression. They crave bodies, mouths, reactions, decisions. And you, whether you realize it or not, are valuable. You are like treasure to the enemy, not because he loves you, but because through you, he can act. Through your anger, he can spread division. Through your lust, he can spread corruption. Through your offense, he can fracture unity. Through your insecurity, he can distort identity. Spirits look for agreement because agreement is access. Access becomes influence. Influence becomes behavior. Behavior becomes identity. And identity becomes destiny. That is how programming works. Slow, subtle, and repeated. So the next time you react out of offense, pause. Before you send that message, before you post that response, before you rehearse that argument in your head, pause. Ask yourself, is this really me? Or is something trying to move through me? The next time you feel that sudden craving to sin, not gradual, sudden, pause. That rush, that impulse, that urgency, that is not always just being young. Sometimes it is a spirit looking for a door. And doors don't open accidentally. They open through agreement. And in that moment, you have power. You can say internally, no, you will not use me. You will not manifest through me. You will not get expression through my body, my mouth, and my emotions. That pause is warfare. But youths, note, maturity does not mean that you no longer feel temptation. Maturity is recognizing that something is knocking and refusing to open. We are living in serious times, not fearful times, but serious. You cannot be careless with your mind anymore. You cannot be casual about what you consume. You cannot keep saying, oh, it's not that deep. It is that deep. Because programming is happening at a spiritual level. The enemy doesn't need you to worship him. He just needs you distracted enough to carry his influence without noticing. But the remnant sees. The remnant questions. The remnant pauses. The remnant guards their eye gates, guards their ear gates, guards their emotional responses. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You just have to be conscious and aware. Amen? Remember, you are not just a teenager. You are not just a young adult. You are a gate. And gates determine what enters a city. If you guard yourself, you guard more than just you. You guard your future marriage, your future children, your future authority, and your future influence. So don't be programmed. Be awake. Be discerning. Be part of the remnant that say, I will not let culture disciple me more than the Spirit does. I will not let impulses define me. I will not give Spirit's expression through my reactions. And when you feel that surge, that temptation, that offense, pause and remind yourself, I am not a door for darkness. I am a vessel for the Spirit of God. Amen? That is how a remnant survives. Not by accident, but by awareness. And the spirit of awareness is what will separate you in this generation. Amen? Youths, remember, every generation has a program. Every script is a script that tells them what to think, what to feel, and what to accept. And this generation is the most aggressive yet. The enemy doesn't always need to possess you. He only needs access. Access through offense, lust, pride, comparison, distraction. Access through your reactions when no one is watching. So remember this, you are not your flesh. You are a doorway, a vessel, a gate. Spirits are always looking for expression. They want to act through your anger, your desires, your impulses. And if you give them permission, even unknowingly, you are carrying what is not yours. So pause before you post, before you speak, and before you react. You were born to be governed by the Spirit, not manipulated by culture. You are not here to be programmed. You are here to be a remnant. The remnant doesn't follow the noise. The remnant guards their gates. The remnant discerns what enters their mind, heart, and body. So be awake, be aware, be guarded. For your discipline now is your dominion tomorrow. Amen? Youths, in these end times, we need to be seriously vigilant. The devil has aimed strongly for this generation. It says in 2 Timothy 3 verse 1-4, but mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Let me say this clearly. Every generation has always had a set of spirits, influences, schemes, and patterns designed to lead people astray. Every age has its programming. Every culture has its lie. Every time in history, darkness has always sought a foothold. But this is the end time generation, end time, and darkness is intensified to its maximum. Every temptation is sharper. Every lie is louder. Every subtle seduction is faster, more convincing, more deceitful than ever before. The enemy is not just operating, he is organized, he is strategic. He is operating in levels the ones before us never experienced. And you, yes, you are being tested in real time. You are not just living in the world, you are living in the battlefield of the unseen, where spirits look for doors and vessels look like targets. Every reaction, every craving, every unchecked thought, every offense, every indulgence These are not harmless. These are openings, gateways, and invitations. So I ask you, and be honest with yourself, is the deception in your mind the reason the spirits of the end time are able to find access to you? Are pride, lack of discernment, self-consciousness, and misunderstanding forming doors that allow darkness to manifest in your life? Are you allowing your mind, your emotions, your reactions, or your desires to be controlled by the influence that are not of God? Listen carefully, youth. This is the moment that decides your alignment. Your generation will either be a remnant or a casualty. If one door opens, many will follow. One compromise leads to captivity. But here's the hope. You are equipped. The pause is your weapon. Awareness is your armor. Discernment is your authority. You were born to be governed by the Spirit, not manipulated by the lies of this age. So when offense rises, pause. When lust tempts, pause. When pride swells, pause. When distraction pulls, pause. And in that pause, declare internally, I am not a door for darkness. I am a vessel of the Spirit. I will not give access. I will not give consent. I will not allow these spirits to manifest in my life. Amen? Youths, the time is now. Be awake. Be alert. Be deliberate. Be guarded. Your mind, your heart, your vessel, these are treasures. Guard them. Protect them. Refuse the programming. Refuse the deception. Refuse the invasion. Because in this generation, the enemy is not subtle, but neither is God. So be equipped, stay alert, and grounded in truth. God bless you mightily, soldiers of Christ, and see you in the realms.